is up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of the Brick Lounge presented by SC Bricks. Once again, I am your host, Eric, and joining me are my glorious co-hosts, John and Kipp. Gentlemen, how are we doing today?
Outstanding. How are you doing today?
Wonderful,
doing well.
wonderful.
Yeah, Kipp, how you doing, buddy?
Oh, we getting through it. We're doing good.
Our buddy Kipp's feeling a little under the weather today, so we're rooting him on from afar.
Yeah, we're like at 70%, as a Brick Lounge group right now, operating about 70% efficiency, but we're making it through.
Only because we love this so much and we always
That's
enjoy
right.
being together. So
That's right.
I'm happy you're doing better, Kipp.
Gotta love it. Gotta love
A couple
it.
days late, but we're here, right?
That's right.
We make it work.
Well, at least on the recordings. You don't know when we're actually recording, though. So
Don't give too deep of a peek behind the curtain, Kipp. We got to maintain the magic, the illusion. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you for joining us. This week we are returning to our themes that we've been going down, and we want to talk about one of my personal favorite themes recently, and a theme that has a lot of potential. We're talking Creator 3-in-1 this week.
Not one, not two,
not two,
but three.
That's
right.
One.
3-in-1.
And
such a cool theme, right?
It's
awesome.
A very cool theme. I do so much with the 3-in-1. I mean, I have the 3-in-1 animals throughout my house. Those are such cool builds. I have buildings that I'm relying heavily on 3-in-1 to construct my 16 stud city.
There you go.
So there's so much potential we can do with that. But before we deep dive into 3-in-1, I would be remiss if we did not talk about our week in Lego. John, tell me about your week in Lego.
Yeah, absolutely. So let me just think for a second. So we just recently had our club meeting, which we have our SC Bricks meeting. And so we're coming off the heels of that. And so what I've been up to is, one, that was an awesome meeting. We held it in Columbia this time, and we had a good turnout. And we were at one of our partners, a new brick zone that was opened up down there. So Chris, the owner of Brick Zone, was nice enough to let us meet there at his location. And so we had a really good turnout, and I enjoyed that. Did some trading. Kipp did a wonderful Mills presentation on how to do Mills plates for our streets and for our trains as we do events for the club. And then, along with this theme that we have, I built some 3-in-1s. So, I am sure you guys could guess which one I started to pick at. But I'll go ahead and tell the rest of the world that I went ahead and stocked up on a bunch of the 3-in-1 medieval castles when they were on discount at Target. And so I've got a slew of those, and I'm using Rebrickable to find some really cool castle mocks, and I'm working on those. So this week, that's what I was doing, or this last couple of weeks, we had our SC Bricks event, and then just, working on really parting and getting ready to expand on my castles. That's what I've been up to. How about you, Kipp? What have you been up to?
Well, it was a busy weekend, so this might actually date this recording just because of what I've been up to, and it was well known in Columbia.
Yeah,
very much so. Yeah.
I was at the Soda City Comic-Con because we had WLTX, our local CBS affiliate, had asked us, one of their employees is an actual member of our group, and he asked us to see if we could put on a big Marvel/DC type Lego city right outside or right next to their table. And so me and another one of our members, Rusty, got together with his humongous Avengers tower that stands like 5'2", I believe. Rusty, don't kill me if I'm wrong on that. But we had that
Tower's
with
insane.
my two yin and yang towers on either side of it, kind of pillaring it on either side, putting bookcases there. And it turned out to be a really great success as far as a display setup. It looked amazing as far as I'm concerned. We had a lot of compliments. A lot of people had drop jaws. There's people posing next to the table because they wanted the Avengers Tower in the background. All sorts of stuff. So, and where we were getting passed by everyone because we were right next to the celebrity hall. And if you wanted to
Nice.
go see
That's
any of the
perfect
celebrities,
placement.
you had to walk right by us. So
That's
it was
awesome.
amazing. Um, I did get sucked into a little bit of non-Lego minifigure action as well while I was there with some amazing looking minifigures that aren't Lego, but they look just like Lego, if not better in some cases. No offense to Lego, but there are some themes that you aren't getting into that some of us in the AFOL community would love for you to get into, but you haven't, so we had to go elsewhere to find them. So that's the only reason why I went that direction, honestly.
And Kip,
Kipp's
I know that
polluting the mini pig pool or minifig
yeah,
pool.
No, I'm actually going to
uh,
keep them separate with the exception of
All right, all
one.
right.
With the exception of one. And
I
it's just because it's going to go, yeah, it's going to go in my theme park. That's why it can't
I
not
think
be
based
used.
on the pictures, I think I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah.
But I know that vendor, and I've purchased some figs from them as well, and they're it's good quality. But I also keep mine separate.
Yeah.
You know, every time I go to Soda City Comic Con, I'll if they're there, I'll pick up like 3 or 4 figs.
I was at Walmart
It,
today. This is the case that's going to hold them.
that's the keep them separated case. You know.
Exactly.
But well, that's awesome, man. Yeah, those pictures that you guys did, I mean, that was a feature of Soda City, and I hate that I could not have joined you there, especially being the other local Columbia guy. But um, you guys did incredible. So
And we
shout
actually, I
out,
know we picked up at least one new member because of it. He
perfect,
joined
Nice.
while he was standing there.
nice, very cool, very cool. Well, that's incredible, man.
SC Bricks continues to grow.
SC Bricks continues to grow, and I'm going to take a moment to piggyback off you, John. Speaking of SC Bricks continuing to grow, you mentioned our most recent meeting where Kip put on an awesome Mills Plate seminar, essentially. There is actually video of that on the SC Bricks YouTube channel. So you can go to SC Bricks on YouTube, and if you're curious about Mills, you can watch that video as well. So that is up at the time of recording. So
Nice.
check that out. So my week in Lego is
Yes, Eric.
similar to John's. I too have fallen down in honor of, well, I like to say in honor of this upcoming recording of Creator 3-in-1, but in reality, I was going to do it anyway. Uh, I too broke down my medieval castle 3-in-1s, and utilizing Rebrickable, I turned one into a medieval merchant for my 16 stud
Nice.
city. Nice little, 2-story medieval merchant, little apartment, and a little, blacksmith shop on the bottom. It was pretty cool. And then the other one I turned into free instructions. And I meant to grab the uh, Rebrickable user so I could share that information, but I might put that in the description of the episode. But anyway, a Rebrickable user created, using only pieces from the 3-in-1 medieval castle, a smaller scale version of the Red Dragon's Tail Lego D&D set, and it is super cool.
It's awesome.
Nice.
I've
Very
seen it.
cool.
It's awesome.
Yeah, you get everything except for the dragon, because the dragon pieces are used for some of the greenery. But I took those pieces from my other 3-in-1 set and used it to recreate the dragon, so I've got a little dragon up there now. So when I get the D&D minifigures in September, that's where they're going to be going.
That's where they're going.
Is in the custom Red Dragon's Tail.
I'm gonna have to build mine once I get the figures. That's mine's still sitting in a box.
Yeah,
My D&D building. Yeah.
yeah. When you
So I have
build
to
it,
say,
I wanna play that campaign with you.
Oh, I'd love to.
That's my request.
That's
I have
great.
to
Let's
say
do it.
one more thing about my week. It also included John in that city as well. We cannot leave out John
Thank you. I
because
had
he
some
did
buildings in there.
donate a couple of his taller buildings to help create a nice skyline in the background. So
Perfect.
thank you,
Awesome.
They
John.
did
I
look good
forgot
in
to
there.
say that.
You're
Yeah,
welcome.
they did.
Hey, by the way, there's a special treat in the other one for you, so you should know that if you open up the other bin before you bring them back, there's a little treat in there for you.
Okay, I'll look.
Yeah. It was something that you won on one of the online meetings that I hadn't given you yet.
Wonderful.
There you go. And it is a Creator 3-in-1 set.
Nice.
Ironically.
Nice. Well, that's
Funny.
that's the perfect segue, man. Let's get into our topic of the show. Let's get into 3-in-1.
Yes, sir.
So, Kipp, you know, we've been struggling to get this recording together, but Kipp and I were talking a few days ago, and he's got some killer facts
Ah,
for 3-in-1 to get us started that I have been holding. I had to stop him from speaking when we were speaking off mic because I was like, dude, this is perfect for this. So I want Kip to lead us off with 3-in-1 tonight
all right, Kipp, what do you got,
because
buddy?
he's got some fun facts. Tell us about 3-in-1, Kip.
So, well, we all know Creator actually started as Creator, not Creator 3-in-1. So the Creator line has its own line, but this is a subset, which is what we are talking about tonight. So in 2007, that's when Creator decided to break into its branches, so to speak. And one of the lines that came out was Creator 3-in-1. And one of the first sets that came out was a model townhouse, set number 4954. It was just a simple I say simple. It was a nice townhouse. It also had 2 other house options. So it didn't give you a lot of options, like visual options as other things you could do with it other than a couple different house options. So very quickly they had to put something else along with that in 2007, and that is set number 4957, which was the first Ferris wheel. So
It's appropriate for you with your amusement park. Do you have that one?
exactly. I do not. I'd
Ah,
love to find it.
and that one's
'Cause
motorized.
exactly, it also introduced the power function option
Yes.
to the Creator line.
Yes. Very nice.
So
So,
on top
so
of that,
just
it also changed the options of it's not just a Ferris wheel, it's not another amusement park ride. They gave you completely different options with instructions on what you could do with it to try to stem your creativity. So beyond just the Ferris wheel, they made it to where you had an openable and closable bridge was one of the options,
like
which
a
would be
drawbridge.
right. That would be really cool if you were setting up a kind of city that you wanted a bridge in and out of your city. That'd be really cool to have. And then they also had to help build your city a crane that could actually lower and raise its hook using the power function. So that, in my opinion, is probably the first real Creator 3-in-1 set, in my opinion, because it gave you an expansion of options in multiple directions. You had a movable ride, you had a piece of architecture as a bridge that was functionable, and then you had a construction equipment type build, all in one set.
Yeah, and for those people out there that probably if you're listening to our podcast, you know a little bit more than I'm going to assume that you might. But the fun thing about Creator 3-in-1s is that this was really the line where Lego gave you multiple options to build with the same bricks. So to Kip's point, the first house set, if you will, which was a model townhouse. I still have that set, Kip. I have the box,
Really?
the
I
directions.
wish
Yeah,
I had it.
I bought it. I bought it from the Lego store, and it was one of the first sets that was like an actual house that you could build. It came with a car. It came with a garage door.
No
And
minifigures.
no minifigures. No, it did not. But it was a cool house, and it had some bling to it. It had a little bit like a stucco look to it, and so I have that still built. It's been built since 2007, so
That's
it's got a little
awesome.
dust on it, but I still have that. And you're right; it had 3 different options, but in that case, all of them were houses. They had 3 different houses,
And
which is
nobody to live in it.
and nobody to live in it. You
Which
got to
leads me to
populate it
my
yourself.
next point.
All
That
I was
right,
leads me
waiting
to
for it,
my
Kip.
next point.
I was
what's your
waiting.
next one?
So the next time the first time that we actually see a minifigure get introduced into the Creator 3-in-1 line was 4 years later in 2011. And that was with the
Ah,
log cabin set number 5766.
yes, and that came with the guy with I have that
The
one as
little
well.
paddle and
Yeah, the paddle
the
boat.
little yep,
It was the brick built boat, right?
yep, exactly, a little yellow kind of like kayak boat.
Yeah, it had a little bit of a Minecraft tree that came along with it.
Yep.
Yeah,
Not
that's
quite,
true.
but yes.
But similar, yeah. And that one
Yeah.
also, all three of those options were houses too. That's a cool set.
Well, but all in their own different accord as well, because it was like an actual log cabin, then kind of like a little cottage, but then a hut.
Yeah.
So they were different in their own rights.
And they had
So,
that maroon slopes for the roof,
yep.
which was a unique color at the
At
time,
that
right?
time, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I still find those and try to find them from time to time.
That might be one of the few places that they've actually ever shown up. I'd
It
have to
very
I'd
look
be
well
that
could
up.
be. Yeah,
yeah,
I'll
I'd be
need
Yeah.
to look
curious
that
to
one
know
up.
that because that is not a common
No.
color.
Uh-uh.
And the one thing I love about this, I've been silent for this back and forth because I am loving the John having these sets and having them built since 2007, and um, that's absolutely incredible. That just goes. I mean, you've been doing this for way longer. Mine and Kip's Dark Ages are far more recent
Yeah.
um, than
Yeah.
yours. But I
I
wanted to
actually
take.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, just to kind of like pour onto that a little bit, as I was doing research for the show, I realized that I have a bunch of the original 2000. I didn't know when I was buying them that it was like the new thing. I
Yeah.
just all of a sudden saw these creators and I was like, these are great. There's options. So
So
I got a
I'm
bunch of the
sorry.
2007 and 2008 and a couple of the 2006 ones. There's only two of them and I have one of them. So,
Wow.
I need to
yeah.
correct myself.
Okay.
2007 was the first time that they offered 3-in-1s in building format.
Okay. Yeah.
Previously, they did in 2006 have two different vehicle builds. One of them was like a helicopter and a couple others, and then a Roaring Roadsters 3-in-1 set. So before that, they were actually bigger builds too. They weren't like the smaller, like what you would put on your little city street road plates. These were the bigger type builds.
That's correct. Yeah. They were more modelish,
Yeah.
Yep. So
See, that's one of the
not
the
things.
ones
minifig
that
scale.
pointed towards the city building type side of things didn't start until 2007. Yeah. So let me
That's one of
clarify
those.
that. I'm sorry I had to do
You're
that.
good. Yeah, yeah. For the record, let's make
For
sure
the
we're
record.
we're presenting accurate information. But that's one of the things that fascinates me with that 3-in-1. You're talking, they did vehicles and whatnot before, and then they started doing the buildings, and initially there were no minifigures that were introduced in them. That's one of the things I love about 3-in-1s to this day, though, and we were talking about this off mic, is everything, with the exception of now minifigures being included, everything is brick built. Even if there's an animal in the set, it is brick built. It's a little chicken that's made out of like 6 parts. But they do that intentionally because those parts can be used for totally different purposes in the alternate builds. And
Exactly.
yeah, which is incredible. And that's one of the things I love is it kind of blows my mind that Lego 3-in-1 is as recent as it is, because to me, it seems so core to the Lego concept of creating and imagining something new with the parts that you have. So it surprises me that it hasn't been around all that long. Well, granted, I say all that long, and we're at, what, 17 years?
Has it
Right?
been that long? I got
Yep.
17-year-old dust on some of these sets.
Yeah, yeah. It's been that long, big guy, unfortunately, that long. But, it's Creator 3-in-1 has always seemed to me as something that has always existed because it's such core Lego. It's so
Yeah.
core to the tenets. It blows my mind that it hasn't been around since the '70s or '80s.
It's like the core value. to
Exactly,
be able to
yeah.
expand your mind and build what you want with your
Oh,
imagination.
yeah, and it's I mean, you can just look at it if you go we were talking Rebrickable earlier, if you hop on Rebrickable, the number of alternate instructions, you type in any Creator 3-in-1 set, the number of alternate builds that members of the community have is insane. That little unicorn 3-in-1, that little $15 unicorn that is
Yep.
still on shelves right now. There are instructions on Rebrickable for somebody that made a Millennium Falcon
Out
using
of the
those
unicorn?
parts out of the unicorn, just a
I
small
gotta
scale
check that out.
Millennium Falcon out of the unicorn, and it's insane, man. It's just so cool to see the core tenets of Lego played out in one theme. Um, that's one of the reasons I love it, is it inspires you when you build a 3-in-1 set. Um, often, a lot of people may only build one, or some may take it apart and rebuild all of them.
Or some
I'm
might
one
buy 3 sets and build them 3 times.
and build
Yeah,
them 3 times.
yeah, that's me. You can't just especially the more recent ones. I mean, the animals that they have
They're
that are out
so
now, they're
good,
so
man.
good. Yeah, the red fox, one of the 2 3-in-1s that they have out right now, which I love, which is the forest animals, and then the other one with the giraffe and the
Yeah,
lion
the
and the
safari
gazelle
creatures,
safari
yeah.
creatures. I mean, you can't just get one of those, right? And not only that, like giraffes are pack animals, so you got to have a couple of them, right? And then they have these extra builds, like in that one they have the what is it, the tree, which is a great tree technique for the giraffe, and I've started using that technique, and they also have the pink flamingos, and I know you're a flamingo guy here,
Yeah,
so they got some really cool pink flamingos,
yeah,
and
they do. Yeah, I was like, they need a flamingo battle pack.
that's right.
I'd stock up on the flamingo battle pack. Bring back the flamingo from that minifigure series with the little old lady and put it in a
Yep.
battle pack. You want all of my money? Put pineapples and flamingos in a battle pack, and there you go. That's the Eric starter kit right there.
You know, the other thing
Uh,
about the Creator 3-in-1s is they let them sit on the shelves for a long time.
They do. They do not.
do.
They do not retire
Yeah,
quickly,
they
which
take
is
5,
They
6 years in
they
some
get
cases for them to
years.
retire. Yeah, many years out of it.
which is totally fine. I do want to touch back on the animals, because the animals is one things that recently, you've seen a lot of focus on 3-in-1 doing the animals, and they're always very, very impressive. You have birds, you have the fox, you have the giraffe, and the fascinating thing about the animals to me is historically with Creator, even though there were multiple builds, usually the main build that's featured on the box is the one that uses the most parts, is probably the most detailed, but that's not the case anymore. Like,
Yep.
you look at the giraffe 3-in-1 set, that lion is just as detailed as that giraffe is.
Yeah,
The gazelle's just as detailed. So it's really, really cool to see that. And the one I think back to for 3-in-1 that really made me it's a recent one that really made me go 3-in-1 is something I need to make sure I'm paying attention to when I was first getting back in from the dark ages, is the Majestic Tiger.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that Majestic Tiger set made me realize I do not know jack about Lego sculpting. I have no idea what I'm
You know, they actually use that same exact build for the Mystic um, line. They use that same lion build.
Really?
Yeah, which was an unproduced theme, but same exact one. Yeah, and that I mean, I remember building that and thinking I have no building skills. Like this is
Right?
amazing.
It's insane, it's
Yeah,
incredible the way it
yeah,
goes together. It's
yeah.
so cool. But just to touch on, we got something dropped in the chat, from our producer behind the scenes, which I wanna go ahead and bring up real quick, because we were talking, they do all sorts of, animals. Dinosaurs is a big one. They've got the new
Yep.
Dinosaur
Yes.
3-in-1 that just came out, and they had one from a couple years ago that's still on the shelves, the smaller one, the Mighty Dinosaur set. But this is a set that he just dropped from 2004, which predates 3-in-1, from called the Designer series instead of Creator, and it was 5 brick-built dinosaurs in this
Very
Oh,
set
cool.
from 2004, set, 4507.
I'll have to go look at that one.
Yeah, yeah. So I just took a look at that right now, and based on the share here, that's $150 producer. Is that correct? Is that $150 designer set? Jeez, right on.
Love it.
Heck yeah. And should have invested in that one back in the day. I'm sure that was a what
Right.
$9.99 retail price.
It's funny. I went before the meeting. I pulled up Brick Economy just to kind of see some of these different sets and how much they're worth now. And they're all everything I'm looking at is up 50 to 200% of value on these 3-in-1s. I mean, there's nothing is worth even the small mini dumpsters or dumpers and the little mini helicopters. They are they're 100% or more. I think the least expensive one is I found the Creator stunt a Daredevil stunt plan or stunt plane. Um, that one's worth about 25% more than it was, and that's the least one, and that's actually a pretty cool set. A biplane stunt man. I don't know if you
Yeah,
guys remember that.
yeah.
Hmm.
The planes are cool. The recent one that I personally love is the jet
Oh
that's
yeah,
been on shelves for years, and it actually has a brick built stand that
the orange and blue
orange
jet.
and blue. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. That's a really cool build. I really like that one a lot,
And
but
affordable.
and affordable. And that's the thing. The 3-in-1s are so affordable. I mean, even it's rare for you. I mean, you guys know me, and the audience listening should know me this many episodes in. My sweet spot's $100, man. And 3-in-1 fits perfectly into that range. And even the few 3-in-1 sets that exceed $100 are well worth their value. The one that comes to mind is the recent Main Street.
right.
Was I think 129, and the number of parts that comes with and the things you can do with it is incredible. I'm actually working on turning that into a 16 stud modular building as we speak, so to speak. um, but
Yeah,
that price point is
as
perfect.
as far as cost, I agree. I mean, they're this is the line that you can spend $15 on a set at any given time and get a
Yeah,
really good value.
absolutely.
That's the trap. I remember the deep sea creatures came out with the first
Oh
shark.
man.
Yeah, and that one's gotten as low as $9. I've seen a lot of times you find them on discount,
Mm,
but that one's got a crab, it's got a shark, it's got an octopus, it's got like this crazy looking underbite fish. I mean,
yep.
um,
And
and
that one in particular even has a secret fourth build that you can get
what?
from Lego.com official instructions for a whale.
Ooh.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, official Lego instructions for that one for a whale.
And
So that's
there's
that
the set to
$15 set is
motorize it, to
exactly,
motorize the
yeah.
shark. Yeah,
Yep, yep. But, yeah, so that set's technically a 4-in-1.
nice. They should
Even
call
though
them
it says
four and
3-in-1
one.
on the box.
It's like R3 and whatever you build, right?
Yeah.
I would say one of the 3-in-1s that actually holds a nice little spot in my heart because it was one of the ones that was out on the shelves when I came out of my dark ages. And it was one of my first attempts into turning a set into one of my city modulars. And it was the little set number. Let's see if I can find
Is
this
it the
set
shop,
number.
that little Asian shop, the
No, it
Oriental
is
Noodle? No.
no, it's the
That one was more
Townhouse
recent.
Toy Store.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It
That
was
was
released in
very
January
popular.
of 2020.
Yeah, and that one you could buy and build in reverse and build. So that's another thing about the
Yep,
3-in-1s is they usually don't come with backs. They're very playful. They're kind of the dollhouse style, a lot of them. But like
yep,
for example, that one specifically, if you built it in reverse, you could put them back to back, and it was one building, which looked great. Yeah, that was fun. Plus, they had the arcade ship that came
yep.
with that one.
The little rocket ship out front,
Yeah,
and it had a little turn thing on it, so it had movement to it and everything. So if you really wanted to, you could motorize it.
that was on a Mills plate, one of my first favorite builds. And then as fate would have it, I was able to secure two additional. So I have four of those Creator toy stores.
Wow.
And so
Yeah.
I put 2 stories, and it's a full block, you know what I mean? So like it's four-sided, and I built an apartment behind it, and it's got the 4 little steeples on each side of it. So that's one of my favorite builds. Kip, I'm right there with you on that.
So I'm gonna go ahead and say this because the buildings for 3-in-1s are very, very interesting, and, we won't get into it, we'll save this for another topic, but, the creator before 3-in-1 became started the modulars and became icons, blah, 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 so you get the whole modular building line stemming from creator as well, but the creator 3-in-1 buildings specifically, you can turn into modular buildings or you can put in a city on their own, and they fit in flawlessly with the modular buildings, but yet they still have their own aesthetic. And
Totally.
to me, that aesthetic, like when I look at a 3-in-1 creator 3-in-1 building, I don't think modern modular city. What I think is Lego Town. It reminds me of classic Lego
Totally.
more than
Yeah.
the modular buildings do.
Yep, it
Well,
does.
a lot of the cars are built like the Lego town. They're not, they're not built to have a minifig in them. They're built like with the clear tiles for windows, or the clear slopes for windows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely love that, where it's not out of place amongst other modern buildings, but yet you look at it and it reminds you of being a kid more than the modular building does, and at least in my opinion.
You know what I just discovered, which I did not know this, and I'm a little upset with myself as I'm sitting here looking at it, is that there was actually a Creator 3-in-1 space rover, which was set 31107, and I had no idea that this even existed. And now it was released in 2020. It has an alien similar to the green alien that's in the gift with purchase that came out.
Yep.
Yeah.
And this is where the gray spaceman came in for the first time. So I did not know that. And now I'm looking on I'm
On
looking to
eBay.
see how much they are on Bricklink, and they are not cheap.
Dude, I did not
The Space
know
Rover
this
Explorer
was a thing.
31107. Look that bad boy up.
That's insane.
Yeah. And it's got a
Wow.
ship and a little base that comes along, the 3-in-1.
40
Had I
40
known.
45 off eBay.
Oh, that's not bad.
Probably
I mean,
open. Make sure all the parts are there.
right. Yeah, that was released in 2020 for $40.
Yeah.
So, but wow. And that was the same year, actually, 8 months later after the townhouse. So I was deep in Lego there. I don't even know how I missed that. Totally did,
There's
though.
just so many releases, man, we can't catch them all.
I know. I know.
It's very
John, blame it
easy
But
on
to
it's
lose
COVID.
something
space.
in the cracks.
Blame it on
Yeah.
COVID.
I was trying to
That's true.
you're right, it is space, I was trying to give you the benefit of the doubt, but you and I, we have no excuse to miss a space set,
No, we do not.
you
They
know?
also have a space mining mech, which came out
That one I
in
do
21.
remember. That
Yeah.
one I remember. I
No
remember that one.
minifig, though. No
No,
minifig in that
I
one.
didn't pick that one up, because that was a cheaper one, that was like 20 bucks, 15,
Yeah.
somewhere around there.
Yeah.
But, yeah, the 301 is incredible, and they've hit a whole new. I want to talk about the modern ones for a moment, the ones from this year. They've hit a whole new level, I think. Like 3-in-1 has been, I mean, it's never been bad, but I think it's been revitalized this year in a lot of ways because they have hit a super affordable point where there's really, other than the one that just came out, the modern house, there's no 3-in-1 that came out this year that's more than $50 right now.
Well, the safari animals was 65.
Oh, yeah, Safari was a little bit more than
Yeah,
50.
but
Yeah,
not a
sorry.
whole lot. Yeah, to your point. Yeah.
Um, but I wanna touch on spoilers for if we do an episode where we rank our favorite sets of 2024. That 3-in-1 camera. I talk about
Oh,
that
yeah.
camera more than I have any right to talk about. That camera, I loved building every moment
What are
of it.
the 3-in-1 options on that one?
The 3-in-1 options are you've got the classic camera, you've got like a miniaturized TV, and then you've got basically a Sony Handycam build, a second camera build.
I'm looking at that now. That's a $20 build.
It's an incredible
Yeah,
buy
that's
for
awesome.
20 bucks. It is one of the biggest bangs for the buck biggest bangs for your buck I think you can get in Lego right now in 2024. And I mean, it would easily make my top 5 of the year list. I love that set so much.
Yeah,
Even the build techniques are incredible because like the knobs turn
plus
and
the film
plus
actually
the
has pictures on
film.
it. Yeah.
Exactly. And if you look at the film are actually pictures of other Creator 3-in-1 sets.
Yep.
Oh, nice Easter egg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they are.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah, which is cool. You got the giraffe in there. There's like the 3-in-1 motorcycle,
And
you know.
it actually has a picture of the Dreams VW Bug.
Oh, no, that's the surfer bug.
That's the
The
surfer
Oh,
bug.
surfer, the
that's
beach
right.
bug.
You're
That's
right.
the 3 in
That's
1.
right.
Yep.
Okay, so they're all Creator.
Yeah.
Look at you with a little Easter egg there. I like that.
I
I
That's
love
what
me
love
this
some
that
is all
set
Easter
too,
eggs.
about.
Eric. That set is amazing. I have it built as the 35 millimeter camera on my desk at work.
Yeah, yeah, and the strap too. I mean, it comes with a strap for
Yep.
the camera.
Exactly.
Well, look, let's go down this path a little bit. Let's talk about some of our favorite ones. So that's one of your favorite ones. Kipp, what's one of your favorite ones?
Okay, so from this year, I can tell
Sure.
you right now, the 3-in-1 space roller coaster.
Oh
I was
yeah.
I
wondering if we
mean,
would
it
mention
hits
that.
the theme that I'm into, which is amusement parks. So, it gives you three options for three different amusement park rides, one being a roller coaster, one being like a spinny ride. I want to say like Gravitron, but not really
Yeah.
because you're in little carts.
Yeah.
And then a drop ride. And now that I'm looking at the drop ride a little closer, I think that one I might want to do as well as the roller coaster. So I might have to get at least one more of those.
Well, it also has the Space Baby in it.
It also does have a blue space baby.
Oh yeah. You can never get enough of those. Yeah, that's one of those sets where if you get on Facebook Marketplace sometime, you'll see it and somebody will be selling it, open, and you're like for
For
30
like
or 50
60.
bucks
Yeah,
or
I've
whatever.
seen it
Yeah, I mean
60
that's
already, but I
yeah.
didn't pull the trigger.
So that's a great one. All right. So I love that one. That's a solid one. So I'll tell you my favorite one, and I mentioned it earlier, but for a lot of reasons, is the Medieval Castle, which happens to be retiring this year. So it came out in August of 2021, and it's retiring at the end of this year. And that one is exciting because it's got, it's the Black Falcon. It's got a couple Black Falcon minifigs. It's got a skeleton, and it's got a guy, Yo Rick is I think his name, but basically it's just like a worker in the castle. But with all the rebrickable combinations you can do with that one to me is probably the one I've bought the most of. Um, and let me actually, not a 3-in-1 technically, but the same idea is the Galaxy Explorer.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
got three designs.
it
Three
does.
designs, but it doesn't show up under the 3-in-1, but it is definitely a 3-in-1. So
Absolutely.
yeah. So those are so there we'll start there. That's my favorite. And Eric, what I know you mentioned one, but what's your other one other than the
The
Polaroid?
camera is different one, and you mentioned the medieval build. I think the medieval build is one of the most diverse 3-in-1s we've had in recent years. There's a reason it's as popular as it is, and Castle has part to do with that, but also the way those parts are used, and also the price point of that. Again,
Yeah.
$100 sweet spot. But I want to touch on some of the older ones that are now retired that I really enjoyed as well. And this kind of leads me into one of the other things I wanted to mention about 3-in-1 is like the medieval castle. 3-in-1 is the perfect way for Lego to revive and beta test interest in themes that are no longer active. And they've been doing that with 3-in-1. Castle was one of those. Before the castle, you
Space.
had the pirate ship, which was incredible.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That
They
pirate
came out the
ship
same year.
that pirate ship was absolutely incredible. Shortly after that, you had the Viking ship, them bringing Vikings back. I've seen people take that 3-in-1 Viking ship build and put it right alongside the Lego Ideas Viking Village, and it fits in perfectly.
And remind me, didn't the new re-release of the Barracuda, like the Barracuda Bay, come out shortly after that pirate ship's release?
No, that came out before the pirate
Was it
ship's
before?
release. Yeah,
Oh.
it was before.
Well, the pirate ship came out in 2020.
Yeah,
So
that's what I was
yeah.
thinking.
Yeah.
And I'm
Was
pretty
Was
sure
Barracuda
Barracuda
after that?
Bay. Yeah, like
And I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm just trying to think. When did
The
that
pirate ship had a brick-built sail. I
Yeah.
remember that,
Which is
which is
cool.
great.
And
Yeah.
a brick-built shark because no
Yes.
molded animals in 3-in-1.
Oh,
But
man.
that
Barracuda
set I
Bay
really cool,
Lego.
or those 3 in particular I wanted to highlight because I think it's really cool Lego using 3-in-1 as a beta test for interest in other themes.
Yeah, it's
Um,
interesting because as you say that, you think about it, they do animals, they do cars, and then they do all the themes and I've never put that together. I mean, and I always buy those, like you said, the pirate ship or the castle set to go along. And now that I'm saying it and thinking about it, they're even putting the minifigs from other sets into the creators now, like the
yeah.
castle and the pirates. And so they're minifigs that are from the actual theme sets that are now included in creators. So a ton of cross promotion there. I love it.
Yep. Yep,
Including like
Okay,
the
absolutely.
so
space shuttle. Remember this? They
those
had a
came out in the same year.
yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
Barracuda Bay did come out before it back in April, and then that 3-in-1 pirate ship came out in August.
Now,
Nice.
Kipp, how many of the creator Ferris wheels did you get? The 3-in-1s that came out in 2020?
3.
Because you got all 3 of them, and
Yeah,
you
the
built
same
all
time.
3 of them.
Actually, no. One of them's still boxed, and then I have 2 of the Ferris wheels that run in opposition of each other. Actually,
You motorized them.
yeah,
Yeah, that's great, and they have a lot of great minifigs. A
yeah, a
lot of,
lot of
and
them in there.
the brick built balloons,
Yep,
folding balloons.
dude, that was a great set, and like you said, it came out the same year as the medieval castle.
I think you got that on AFOL day
I did.
when we got 15% off back then. Yeah,
Yep.
nice.
There's
All right,
just so much, man.
let's keep going around. I want to find out some more. Kipp, what's your next
Yeah,
favorite
give me
one? What's
another
the
one.
first?
Well,
Yeah.
of course, we're gonna have to stick in the amusement park category.
All right.
We have to. So, and you mentioned the Ferris wheel, which just happens to be one of them, but I'm not going to mention that one. I'm going to mention the one that I have used to turn into my flume ride in my amusement park, and that would be the Pirate roller coaster.
Oh
Set
yeah,
I
number
forgot about that one.
31084
310. Is that technically a
from
creator set?
yeah, it's a Creator 3-in-1,
It's a 3-in-1, yeah.
Yeah.
and it was released in 2018.
Oh goodness.
I had to buy it in the aftermarket. Luckily, I get it for
The pirate
$100
roller
used.
coaster.
Yep. So, just to give our listeners a little backstory, I used this 3-in-1 set to create my flume ride in my amusement park because I ran this roller coaster through my original El Dorado Fortress.
That's right. You built it into your El Dorado Fortress.
Yep.
Yeah, that is such a cool. Now, as I recall, if you build it as it is, it's kind of hard to move around. Isn't
Yep.
really.
And
But,
I motorized it.
Oh yeah. So that's a Mills plate right there. You
Yep.
got to do it on Mills.
It was a 48 by 96 Mills plate to put that one on and have some border around it so you're not running over stuff.
Oh yeah. So 3184. That's a good one.
Yeah.
So to touch on that, because you got the pirate roller coaster, last year we had the space roller coaster. They love doing amusement park rides based on themes as well. And you can even see
Pirate.
that in the modern one, the one that just came out.
Space.
Oh, it's brand new. Yeah.
The one that just came out.
Technically not out yet, is it? Is it
And that's
soon to be
technically
released?
not a
It is
3-in-1.
technically
That's going to
not.
be a city. It's a city release.
Is that a city release? I
It
thought
is
that
a
was a 3-in-1
city
release.
release.
Oh,
No.
well, fair.
But I'm sure it'll have
I am
three.
incorrect.
It'll have 3 instructions though.
I was about to shout that one out because it's got a huge Exoforce reference in it.
Yes, it does. I'm looking forward
But
to
that is
that
not
one.
3-in-1.
And it is now available for $100 on Lego.com.
Okay.
$99.99.
I'll have to look at that one.
That'll be joining the amusement park, I'm sure,
That
at
might
some
get
point.
picked up on Monday from the Lego store.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, they have some good gift with purchases right now if you spend $100. So,
Yep.
but what's out there right now that's even more attractive is Jaws.
Oh,
Oh, I
dude.
know.
Yeah.
Well,
But
all
that's
right.
not 3 in 1. Let's stay on
We're
topic.
Let's stick
switching
on.
here.
Yeah,
Hold on a
yeah,
minute. Hold on. Let's get back on the rails for a
We start
second.
talking about buying stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so
We can fall down all of our wish lists very
that's
easily.
right. All right, so you went with the modded roller coaster, which is a city, but still same kind of. It's kind of the same design as both the pirate roller coaster and the space roller coaster, right? To your point.
Mm.
I'm going to go with one that I've done a few things with. Like again, I like this idea of buying buildings and then converting them, like you mentioned, the toy house or the toy store. The other one that I really enjoyed building with is the tree house. So it was the oh goodness, what was it?
Yes.
The Safari Wildlife Treehouse.
Yes.
So I like a
Yeah.
lot of trees. I like a lot of foliage. So this was one where it gave you enough pieces. And again, if you bought multiple, you could build a really big tree. It came with the giraffe, which I now use as the baby giraffe next to my
Yeah.
big giraffes.
Compared to the big one, yeah.
Yeah, they actually stand really well next to each other. It looks like baby giraffes.
For those wondering, that is set number 31116.
Yeah, so that one was a really fun set for me. It also has a pink flamingo.
Yes,
Well,
it
that's
does.
automatically a
Yeah.
top tier set for me.
Yeah,
Ding, ding,
and
ding, ding, ding,
ding, ding, ding. So that's one of my favorite. All right, Eric, how about you?
One of the ones that I like, it's a more recent one. You can still find it on the shelves, but I really like the cozy home.
Oh yeah,
The
yeah.
cozy home because the color of it I
The
love.
teal roof,
You get the teal, you get the the turquoise, you get the
turquoise.
blue.
Yeah,
It works out well. The alternate builds are great. It's also its main build how it's the main house build also technically has an open back, but it's hinged so it can close and become its own self-contained unit with just that one build. Um, so that I think is really cool. It's one of the few houses that actually could stand alone as its own modular without any modification, essentially.
yeah, and it has the lime leaves
Yeah.
in it, which are fair. I don't know what else they come in. Probably like an avatar or something, but those are pretty rare. And they have a ton of little things that on that particular set. They have like a bunch of toys. Like a remote control, couple remote control cars. Yeah, that's a great set. And to your point, it's
Yeah.
also got masonry bricks
Yep.
in it.
There's a lot you can do with that set.
Yeah.
And the colors in particular I really love because it pops out compared to other just standard color buildings.
Yeah, the other thing about these types of sets is they show you how to build furniture, because a lot of times they'll have beds, they'll have chairs, they'll have kitchens, they'll have cooking things. So even like the downtown noodle shop has, that's another one that's one I don't have a bunch of, but they put so much detail in there. They have street signs, they have they put some carts, like pedal carts with food on them and things like that. So since I mentioned it, go ahead.
I'm sorry, you brought up something, that downtown or the noodle shop. If you
Yeah.
remember correctly, that was a really great draft set.
Yeah, it was because of the diversity of the elements.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, it was.
Plus the minifigs are fun.
Yeah. Sorry, that's all I had to say about it. That one hit me good because that one was a great draft. That was one of my favorite drafts, I think.
That noodle shop is one that I hate that I missed out on. I wish I had that set.
Andrew did a couple mocks with that. He actually did a really nice, front to back noodle shop that he built,
Nice.
and I've seen some rebrickables with that set as well that are really well. That by the way, just another shout out to Rebrickable. Every single creator set and you mentioned this earlier, Eric. I think every single creator set has got 50 different versions of things that can be built on Rebrickable. Combined and all of that.
I got one more I want to talk about, and
right,
it's
go
a
for it.
really small one, and it's a very recent one too, and it's only a $9.99 set. It is my mascot from the Char and Chill Diner
That's a
modular
good one.
that I made.
The
little
dragon from
red
this year.
dragon.
Oh, the red dragon.
Yeah, the little red dragon. Set number 1, 3, 3, 4, 5. it has the red dragon as the main build, but then you have a little red toucan parrot and a little what looks like a red goldfish.
Oh yeah.
But I love that set. I have that dragon made. He's my mascot for my burger joint in my city.
That reminds me of one more thing that the 3-in-1 theme does that thank you for bringing that set up because it was on my notes and I totally forgot about it. Uh, 3-in-1 every single year they follow the Chinese New Year, the Chinese zodiac animal of the year. So like,
Mhm.
Lego
Ah,
releases the GWP version of that, but this year you got the $10 dragon sets. You're the dragon.
Yep.
Last year, I already forgot what last year was. The rabbit.
The
Last year was the
rabbit.
rabbit. We had the 3-in-1 rabbit. The year before that was the tiger. We had the majestic tiger. So they always do a 3-in-1 animal in correspondence to the animal of the Chinese New Year, Chinese zodiac as well.
huh. That's interesting. I never knew that was part of the creator series.
Yep. Yep.
Excellent. All right. Well,
If
I
it's
got one more.
if that's not intentional, it's been a heck of a coincidence for the last several years.
Good job either
I,
way, right?
I got one more for us. The fish
Shoot.
tank. How
Oh
many of y'all
yeah.
got the
Oh, yes, I got the fish tank.
Yes, that one's fun. Now that one is cool because it comes with it. You can build an easel or like a little treasure chest, but just the original, like you said, the original build that usually is on the box is the one that's the best, and it's got 5 or 6 really cool fish, and it just begs to be expanded on. It just begs to be put in an actual fish tank. You know what I
Dude,
mean? Doesn't it?
that is one set that to this day, that set stayed together for a very long time in my collection in my living room. And
Nice.
I always
Nice.
intended to expand it, and I wanted to do like trans blue walls to kind of create the water illusion. And then the time came when just one project took priority over that, and I was like, you know what? I was like, it needed to be cannibalized. It
Yeah.
had to. It had to. You know, as I've said before, build, build, destroy, and recreate is my motto. You know, I've got no fear with destroying a Lego set to turn it into something else. Um, but that set was very difficult for me to part out. When I finally broke down and parted it out, I was like,
It's not a
man,
big set either, you know what I mean?
no, but it's so
It's
cool.
nice
But it's
display
fun.
size and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, it's perfect. And I wanted to do something grander with that. And it was just other projects took higher priority, and I know I was not going to get to it. And those
That'd be a
parts
good
had a
16
better
by
serve.
16 edition for you.
It would be,
You
yeah.
could do vertical space, you know,
Do an
and
You bringing
aquarium.
that back, it may come back.
Make an
yeah,
It may
aquarium.
find its way back.
yeah, agreed.
So
Well, we
good
haven't really
bring up
mentioned,
on that one, man.
yeah, thank you. We haven't mentioned too many cars or vehicles. You know, like, you know, most of the stuff we've been excited about has been like buildings or animals. Um, and so I'm just gonna go into one car in particular that I do like, which was the monster truck. And this was not a minifig, but it was, you know, minifig size, but it was designed to crush another car, which is always fun. That was 31101, and it had the big monster wheels. So they've used those same builds and made a minifig scale.
Yeah,
But I really enjoyed that one as well because it was a very durable little vehicle. So and then obviously all the helicopters and planes that they've built. I mean, just
yeah.
tons of those.
Yeah, those are all over the place, and they're incredible. One of the more recent ones, and then we'll wrap up. The truck and trailer with the helicopter that came out earlier this year.
Yes.
Yeah,
That is basically a Creator 3-in-1 remake of that one set from the earlier mid '90s. That was a town set.
Yeah, the yellow,
Um,
black, and red.
yeah,
Was
yeah.
it
You're
that
talking about the
one?
flatbed truck with the
with
helicopter.
the helicopter.
Yep,
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
had
that's
that
and
as a child.
yeah.
yeah,
That's a
those are
Creator
great.
Loved
3-in-1
it.
remake of that '90s set.
Well, to that
Um,
point, the space shuttle that's out right now is a remake for $10.
yeah, that's true. Yes,
That's
it
another
is.
remake.
Yeah.
So
So
they circulate them.
they
Yeah.
do things like that, which is really neat. And I totally lost my point where I was going. I got distracted with truck. You know, the little kid in me came out, and
That'll
I
happen.
completely deviated. But one of the things that I love is we're all talking about so many different sets right now, and everyone listening has so many more that I'm sure they can toss into this. But it really shows the creativity and what you can do with it. And one of the last things I'll say, and this is my point, I remembered it, that I wanted to talk about that I absolutely adore about 3-in-1 is minifigures are iconic to Lego, but a lot of themed based sets focus heavily on minifigures as the selling point. 3-in-1 does not. 3 in
Yep.
1, it is 100% about the build and about the build experience. You cannot every time you build a Lego 3-in-1 set, you learn some sort of new building technique, some sort of new way of doing something. Whether the set has figures or not, which is why I love that the origin of the series is with no minifigures.
Hmm.
And several of those the overwhelming majority of the sets we've talked about tonight don't have minifigures. And we're super excited for the build of the set, you know?
Hmm.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things I love about it is it's the perfect theme for learning, growing, developing your set, and inspiring yourself, to continue to be creative. So that's my piece on 3-in-1. I will let you guys say your piece, and then we can wrap it up. But I absolutely adore this theme. This is one of my favorite themes of all time, and it became a favorite theme very quickly and almost overnight with just building a few sets. And I realized the absolute joy that it is from all aspects.
Yeah, and I would just go on to say that this is a topic and a sub theme that we could go on and on and on about. I think the whole idea of build, inspire, create this whole you know wonderful world of Lego is can be encompassed in the 3-in-1. So I would be interested to hear from our listeners what their favorite 3-in-1s are. I'd love to hear some feedback in the comments of our podcast feedback. Like, what 3-in-1s are your favorite? Because as we did the research, I can tell you I don't have enough of them. So,
No.
and I've discovered that there's even more that I knew about, which is so cool. It's Lego's the thing that keeps on giving. But, and by the way, if anybody ever, as you're listening to our podcast, we decided to get into 3-in-1 today. But just remember, if you ever want to hear us talk about a theme, a sub theme, please let us know in the comments, because we definitely want to talk about things that you like to hear about. But this has been great. I'm ready to go spend some money on eBay.
Catch up on those old 3-in-1s.
Yes, sir.
Kip,
Uh,
what are your final thoughts, man? Take us
man,
out.
it's one of those themes that can take any Lego builder in any direction that they want to go, because it, like we've been saying, it touches on every heartstring as far as a builder is concerned. You've got your building designs, you've got your animals, you've got your cars, you've got your airplanes, you've got this, that, the other thing. There's no stop to 3-in-1. So as long as you can think of something to do with one object, you can, like you said, you can destroy it and rebuild it into something totally different. So
Lego encourages you to do that. That's why
That's
they
right.
give
exactly.
you 3 sets of instructions.
So, and then they don't even want you to stop at those 3 sets of instructions either. So break it again and build it different.
That's right.
So,
That's
or
right.
Yeah,
mock it into something else. Use a couple of them, make it something bigger and bolder. You know, that's where I am as far as 3-in-1 is. I like to use it for my city. I like to use it for my amusement park. I like to have drafts with it because it has amazing parts in it. You know,
absolutely.
Yeah.
it's just
It's
a
wonderful.
very versatile system.
Yeah, as John mentioned, good bring up, it encompasses SC Bricks Build, Inspire, Create in a perfect way. If there's one theme that encompasses SC Bricks, it is the Creator 3-in-1, and I'm
That's
glad you
so
said
true.
that. I'm
Yeah.
glad you said that, John. That was a perfect analogy to end on. So we'll go ahead and wrap this up. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you so much for listening to the three of us ramble on about 3-in-1 and talk about sets for the last hour of your precious time. As John mentioned, if you have any topics you want us to discuss, let us know in the comments Let us know what your favorite Creator 3-in-1 set is. Let us know what your favorite theme is. Let us know what you want to talk about, what you want to hear. But, ladies and gentlemen, until next time,
Bricks down.
breaks down.
Down.